It's a southpaw. Barrios conventional. Barrios.
He liked that, like you said, he liked that reach. But Tank quicker than him, though.
Look, he get hit with, look, every time he engage, he get hit, look. And this guy don't hit half as hard as Tank, man.
Nah, and not even have the quickness and the speed as
Exactly.
Tank. Look, right. But he can fight. He got skills. Looking at this kid right now, he willing to sit there saying, I ain't giving it up like that.
But you best believe he know he fighting Tank. He training extra hard, man.
Oh, yeah, without a question.
Extra hard.
Yeah, he earned that goddamn belt. Looking at his face, he earned that belt. I give you that, youngin'. He got it. Barrios, he come to fight. He come to fight.
I'm a dangerous fighter, you know, and I'm willing to leave everything in that ring. Just gonna find out, you know, what it's like to be in the ring with El Azteca.
I'm looking for that fighter that's gonna bring the best out of Taker. Because nobody have yet.
I know for sure that I can fight. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I know he's not better than me.
There's a fight on June 26th with all the familiar draws. Two undefeated champions, a young phenom versus a larger opponent. Power puncher against Mexican warrior.
Well, let me see the defense.
But the beauty in the matchup between Gervonta Davis and Mario Barrios lies beneath what's visible. It comes from what and who they carry with them.
Come on!
Yes, when the bell sounds, two men will fight for a championship. But that's not true. Not entirely. There's more than a belt at stake.
Trust me. Opponent, don't get shoot like you out for juice. Like the boat.
Man, it's crucial hot out here today, boy. It's almost 100 degrees out here.
It might be 100.
No, it's 99 according to the car.
Oh, sure. That's 100 in my book.
It's hot out here, Kenny. You want to get out here and run this shit? God dang.
And that's what a tank do. A tank run out there in the heat.
He's definitely getting it in.
Man, we got work to do.
We got work to do.
So, I'm a show. I may want to take out your clothes.
He's still doing a concert. He up there singing. We in the zone, man, in the zone. Make sure you get your popcorn, sit back.
Don't waste no money on no popcorn.
Don't waste no money on popcorn.
Don't waste your money. If you're going to get it, pop it early and have it on before this fight starts.
You might get to eat half of the cup.
Yeah, man, this joker ain't going nowhere. He said he's an Aztec warrior.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of warriors in the grave.
Remember like how you say like back in the day when we was young, like you gotta be able to do this shit under any weather. Like some people, yeah. So I'm like, it don't matter.
Yo,
All right, babe. See you later, all right? All right, see you guys.
With the bout only weeks away, Team Tank ramps up the focus.
Gotta fight, y'all.
For trainer Calvin Ford,
About being competitive.
that means attaining peak conditioning,
I love this. I love it.
both to make sure Davis can endure a bigger opponent and to guarantee that the 140 pounds he will bring to the scale
He said you made a mistake.
will be the right kind of weight.
Fight down on it. Fight down on it. There you go. Let's give it up for him, y'all. That's it. That's 12, y'all. Okay. I gotta bring that. I wake that beast up. Tony Montana.
This is what I do, Mike.
The world is who?
Mine.
The world is who?
Mine.
Let's go get it. Push. Come on.
It's mine.
Tank. Time. Good job. That's right. Give it up for him, y'all. Man, where you got that joint from, boy? You know how to dig, boy. I remember a couple of facts when we was in the amateurs. I said, Tank, pull it from the mud. What you do? Pull it from the mud.
For this monumental fight, Davis has added new members to camp. And this time, they share the same DNA. He enlisted his brother Michi to play a utility role.
Let me check my shirt.
And for the first time in Javante's career, he's invited his mother, Kenya Brown, to stand by his side.
She's a great supporter. To have her in camp is great, you know, because she bring that energy sometimes, and that's where I get my aggression from, I think. Because my mom, she's just like me, but she a female type stuff. Like, whoa, I'm just like her, I want to say.
Like, this was been my vision for a long time. Family means everything to me. I'm looking forward to see what else is there to come.
I grew up in a predominantly, you know, a woman household. You know, it's something I was very thankful for, man. You know, just having, you know, these strong, independent women around me, from my grandma to my mom to, you know, my three sisters, and to my older sister now, you know, who is a wonderful mom to my niece. I have, you know, a lot of admiration for the women who are in my life. My older sister Selena is the professional fighter as well. My mom, she took us to the East Side Boys and Girls Club. I was 6, my older sister was 9. My sister, man, she was just naturally an aggressive kid, so I mean, she excelled at boxing, man. Every tournament she went to, you know, she was winning belts after belts, you know, trophies. I didn't have a similar start, but you know, over time it became a passion of mine.
In a sport defined by individuality, Mario Barrios cuts a particularly distinct figure with a style that defies easy classification. Eclectic in taste, singular in nature, and always his own man.
I listen to a lot of rock, a lot of punk music. You know, that's where, you know, my vest comes from. I made my own punk vest, and everyone's always asking me like, "Oh, like where'd you get it from?" And I'm like, "Nah, like I made this." I have always been, you know, very prideful of my Mexican roots. You know, this is something that was from the time I was a kid. I have always been this way. Got real deeply in touch with my native roots a couple years ago. I just wanted something, you know, that at the end of the day represented me, represented everything, you know, that I stood for. All of my tattoos, most of them are Aztec-based. First one I got was Ocelo, and Hecat, Malanali, Quetzalcoatl, Tecpat. Got this right here on my forearm. Mictlantecuhtli, my neck with short sleeve, the Aztec symbol for the flower. You know, this is stuff that, you know, we didn't get to learn, you know, in the history books in school, but, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's our history.
For a fighter who defies easy labels, there is one that Barrios loves, his ring moniker, El Azteca. It's a tribute to his warrior heritage.
There is no greater name for me as a fighter than El Azteca. So, I mean, every time I step into the ring and I hear that name announced, and it brings great pride to me, and I know it brings great pride to, you know, a lot of Mexican fans. And at the end of the day, you know, that's everything to me.
How's he been looking?
Good. I could complain, but I'm not. You always can be better, you know?
Always something we could work on.
Yeah.
Here we go, Joe. Here we go.
For this camp, they're 11th together. Virgil Hunter continues to emphasize discipline to complement his fighter's intrinsic passion.
Get the defense out, you gotta remember. Move it ahead.
It's a balance the Hall of Fame trainer understands well from his days working in the probation department of Alameda County.
For 30 years in the probation department, I've worked with the roughest, toughest gang members and criminals that you can imagine.
Get the follow through that right hand.
Transferring that over to boxing, I think it gave me a lot of advantages to understand pretty much everything about a young man.
You have to go with what you hear and what you see. So that's pretty simple. Come on, focus where it is. Focus where it's going. Don't lose focus.
Even though Verge is a very, calm coach, he does know how to speak to each of his individual fighters to get through to them.
That's it, defend. You're gonna hear me every day. Lock in. You don't mind, do you?
No, sir.
Okay.
There is times where, he'll turn it up on me, like, hey man, like, what are you doing?
You gotta let your offense be your defense also. Right back with double J, that's a trap. That's not gonna discourage you. Come on, champ. It's all mental. It's all mental.
If there is some stuff, that I'm being stubborn about when I'm in the ring, he knows exactly how to get through to me. And that's when I work my best.
It's one mistake. And then we on the short end of this. You gotta narrow those mistake margins in. You don't let him get it. You don't create the opportunity for him. Force him to create it for himself if you go get it. So you gotta watch him every night and you see what he does and that stays in your mind. When you hit the bag, I can tell you watching it. Go ahead, son. Today was a good day.
Whew. They ain't even over yet.
They just started.
We back at this again. It's Barrios. He ain't going nowhere, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make sure he stay around through the duration of camp. I think I start with this one in the locker room, this one in the ring, and this one where he jump rope at. And the grand finale, speed bag. Getting close to the fight, so I gotta need something to motivate him. I'm gonna put him right here. Barrios is going right here in his mirror, looking at him. But he younger, he hungry, he undefeated, he ain't trying to give up his zero. And he ain't trying to give up that belt. He gotta go in his house and get his jewelry. Gotta get his strap.
Look him in his eyes.
I can't reach him. I mean, I can't.
That's how tall he is.
He a little cross-eyed.
He watching everything you do ahead, man.
Oh, he over there too.
He looking there. He start looking for him there.
He up in the ring too.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, Davis doesn't need to look far to find friendlier faces, like the ones belonging to his family. Their presence in camp is especially meaningful, given how far they've come since their early days in Baltimore when addiction and poverty tore a family apart.
I lived in an apartment. I was single mother. At that time, I was struggling with drugs. It was a shooting, bad shooting around my way. And the police came, and then they was knocking on doors. My oldest son opened the door. They realized that they was in there by themselves, and that's how they end up in foster care. When I came home and realized that, it broke me to pieces. I was already at bottom. I didn't want to live anymore. So I went back to doing what I know best.